And we are back, folks, with another edition of the Michigan Football Breakdown, focused on the defense with that man they call Vance Bedford. You might as well call him Unfiltered. You might as well call him I don't give a damn. He always say, hey, they can't do nothing to me. I'm retired. Tell them to come look. Come find me. I'm in Colorado. Come looking for me. I ain't hard to find. They can't do nothing to me, Sam. They can't do nothing to me. Ain't that how it go, Vance?
That's how I go. I'm sitting in the basement right now with my fireplace on. It's too cool to be outside. So you know what? As you say, I don't give 2 cents about what they think, say, or do.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. That's called I'm free. Free to say what the hell I want to say. And that's why you always get it straight, no chaser. You get the real from Vance all the time. And that's what they love about you, Vance. And so you've been giving it to us real about these Spartans all year long. And you told us, Vance.
They stink. That's what I told you. Hey, and they did. They were awful. That's to be for real. I mean, everybody's talking about, you had me talking about the quarterback and the receiver. That quarterback was absolutely terrible. He couldn't hit the side of a barn 1 out of 10 times. I mean, it was awful. Come on, Sam. What were we talking about? He had guys open sometimes. He threw, but we had 3 guys covered. I mean, did he have Ray Charles glasses on? I mean, I'm like, what is he doing? Why would he throw it there? Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Oh man, Vance, they got his head early. They got his head early. I admit, I thought he was gonna put up some numbers, because he dual threat guy. He did some damage in last year's game. So I was expecting to see that. That was a better defense last year that Michigan had. And so I was like, he gonna do something to Michigan this year. He was worse, Vance. How you gonna be worse?
Last year, Wink didn't really understand college ball and that rivalry. Let's be for real. I think that was a big part of it. This year, Wink had the defensive ends playing wide. They rarely gave him an opportunity to scramble to the wide side of the field. They flat took it away. So they kept him in the pocket. When they kept him in the pocket, he couldn't see. I mean, with my glasses down, I'm better than 2020. I could get a man my glasses. He still couldn't see wide open guys. That quarterback's terrible, man. He was scared to death. Wink, you know what? Wink, people have been on Wink. I'll tell you what, I gave Wink an A for his game plan. I mean, I thought the game plan Wink put together was absolutely outstanding. And for the most part, the players did a good job in executing that game plan. I mean, so my hat's off to Wink and the defensive staff. But again, Michigan State was just downright awful. We're talking about little brother. No, they little sister. That's who they look. They look like little sister out there. They were terrible. They were garbage.
Man, they been reduced to little sister.
They little sister. I mean, they were pitiful. I felt bad for their fans. I mean, they talking about getting rid of the coach. Only been there a year and a half. Come on now, get a man one more year. That'll be just one more win for us. So we can't get rid of that guy just now. We need his help.
Oh man, Vance. Like I said, you called it, and you've been talking about linebacker play. So, Jimmy Rolder. We've been talking about Jay Barham all year and the kind of player and impact player he's been. Jimmy Rolder, you've been talking about him as a run stopper, and he's been a pretty good run stopper. This was an all-around game for number 30. Mr. Rolder had as fine a game as I've seen a Michigan linebacker have in the last few years. Vance, he was everywhere in this contest.
Sam, he had a good game. I think the game plan played to his strength, and also Michigan State's play calling played to his strength. What would you get in tight formations versus University of Michigan? And their issue has been when you spread them out to get guys in space. I couldn't figure out what they were doing. They played right into Jimmy's hand. Well, he could be a baller. When we blitzed Jimmy inside, I mean, his drop didn't have to go very far because of the formation they had. I mean, so I've been on Jimmy, real hard, especially in about space. This was probably his best game, but I'm not going to go back as far as you said, as good as linebackers that we've seen in a long time play. I can't go there just yet, Sam. He has to show me when they spread out, can he do it? This game now,
I'm just
He
saying
had
that
a really good game.
in this game, I'm talking
Yeah,
about
in this game.
this game.
In this
I'm not
game,
saying I'm just talking about this game that he had. That's
okay,
just
well, that's from that standpoint, he did some good things. I mean, one time when the ball broke, I saw him run the ball down. I mean, he showed me a burst of speed that he hadn't shown this entire year. So he did some things. Out of the linebacker group, he shows me the most awareness as far as what to do in certain situations. I started linebackers in this particular game. Michigan State shifted to empty. I started linebackers checking, getting guys lined up. They didn't do that versus USC. So apparently they've been working on, if they go to empty, no matter what the call is, we're doing A, we're doing B, we're doing C. So empty didn't hurt us at all. But again, when I watched the quarterback play, he had no idea where to throw the football. He couldn't read the coverage. If they put it right in front of him, he could have Peyton Manning on the left side and Tom Brady on the right side telling him what to do, and he still couldn't figure it out, Sam. They could say, see right here, this back is going to be wide open in the flat. Just look here and come back. He might get you 25 yards. Couldn't do that, Sam. The two greatest quarterbacks in the past 40 years could be standing right there in the huddle, ball snap sitting right there. He still couldn't do it, Sam. He still couldn't do it. I mean, so the quarterback play for Michigan State played to the strength of what we did. And I saw Wink do some lightning that we used to do, with the previous two coordinators. They did some last year. I saw from the boundary. I saw two roll. I saw all of those things show up, things that we've been talking about on this show, Sam. I thought it showed up in this ball game. And when the players executed it, and we did a great job. We did a great job.
man.
So again, the game plan I thought was great. Michigan State played into the strength of what we were doing. So I got to give Michigan State a great A+ for helping us out in this ball game with their play call.
Yeah, man. They very, very few missed assignments in this game. I do wonder. There was one run play where they're out the gate, not the one where my man, he did a spin move in the backfield, jump cut, and got up the field. That dude just made a great play. What's the one? What happened on the one where they got the 40-yarder? It looked like they didn't fit it right. What happened on that play, Vance?
A couple of times we had a lot of duo in this ball game, and the issue that we had with our down guys, because he's doing so much too high, the duo is killing us. These guys getting knocked 4 and 5 yards down the football field, so the backs don't know where to fit. So a couple of times the ball creased us for big plays, and the secondary didn't fit it right. On one play, if the linebacker stay inside, we got a safety coming outside. He jumps outside, he hit inside, bounced to the sideline, was out the gate. I mean, so we had those situations several times because the two inside guys, they get knocked off the ball because a lot of times we playing a too high shell. Mm-hmm. And so they have a tough job, but right now the fundamentals sometimes inside when we get in the stretch play is not very good. Our defensive ends played, I thought, a really good ball game. I thought our inside down guys, the T tackles, and I would have to grade them separately in this ball game. I would give the defensive ends an A-, and I give the defensive tackles a B-. I mean, I didn't think the defensive tackles were very sound as far as how they played this particular ball game.
Mm-hmm. How do you think? So their big time guy is Nick Marsh. Man, there were times where Suge didn't give him room to breathe. Man, he had one good series, that series where they went 7 for 7. But this was one of Jyaire Hill's better games. What do you think of his performance?
My man 3-0 Sugar Hill, he did a great job. I like how he played, was up for the challenge. But the game plan versus him was a lot like Ohio State. A lot of times it's either a double when they're doubling him, or they're playing quarter, half with a cloud to him. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they went to, it was either Tampa 2 or 3 cloud, where they were rolling up to him. So the quarterback was confused. He never could tell when the guy was isolated by himself, because we talked about disguise last week, Sam, about how we weren't disguising. Them boys said they were on point. They were disguising this ball game, Sam. Said, now I know they listen to our show. They can sit back and say all they want to. Liar, pants on fire. Sam, they listen to us. The things we talked about last week, bro, it showed up.
Appreciate the super chat today. We appreciate the love, the super chat love. Yeah, make us go. We appreciate that. Tay 8531. That's love right there.
You
We'll
know
be
what,
getting
Sam? Just looking at not just Michigan State. I think we talked about it the previous week with our cloud corners. We got beat on a sluggo, which is a slant and go, with a cloud corner. The quarterback gave a little hitch. The corner jumped it. The safety should have been going right now over the top. He squared up. That ball got down to the 3-yard line on the pass play. Two things happened. Cornerback should have driven through the receiver's shoulder so you don't have a free release, but the safety should have been gone. We're having there are some technique things that if we don't get cleaned up playing half field, it's going to come back to hurt us. Because several times last week and this week, we're getting a high low. In other words, you get number 2 to the flat and one running the corner route, and the corner is staying low for the low route. The safety can't stop the corner route. That's 2 weeks in a row. So when we get against a decent passing team, if we don't clean that up, it's going to cost us down the line. So there's some things that we need to get cleaned up to protect us. Purdue, not very good football team, but they're going to try to throw the football. Mm-hmm. And if we don't get those things cleaned up, it will show up on us sooner or later. And also, along those lines, the hollow inside, Sam. Number 2 goes 5 yards. He sits a pivot out. The outside receiver, number 1, runs a squaring route. Sam was open 3 times, but the quarterback, again, Ray Charles was back there throwing passes. Now, he kept going to the 5-yard route. The dig was, I'm talking about Grand Canyon open, baby. It was wide open. But again, the quarterback wasn't very good. So there's some things in coverage that we need to get cleaned up moving forward. But again, for this ball game here, my hat's off to Wink, the defensive staff, to the players. Outstanding game plan, really good execution for the most part. We rolling right now, Sam.
Yeah, man. Vance, you remember we were having those conversations to begin the season. We were like, you don't know what they telling them. Are they telling them to box or spill on these plays? And they were saying, it really depends on the call. And we were trying to figure out are they confused? The conclusion I drew is you had some. I think while there were instances from a coaching staff perspective where they were confusing guys with the calls, I don't think that was the instance in that particular seat. I think you had in run situations, you had guys doing their own thing. Edge guys that were just doing their own thing. That's what that problem was. The edge discipline just has gotten better, Vance. They are playing more disciplined football and they're playing more physical football on the edge.
I thought for the most part those guys played really well. Moore is playing outstanding right now. You got Moore, you got TJ Guy, you got Barham. Right now, watching these guys play, Moore's the best defensive end we have at the present time over the last 2 ball games. Mm-hmm. Barham is not showing up. He's trying to execute the defense. So he's a little slower, not being as aggressive as he has been, which has helped the defense out. But he doesn't show up like he was early on. And Moore's just turning it loose right now. TJ Guy came in and made some nice plays.
He sure did.
I see right now that he against 21 to 12 personnel that are going to bear, he's running under. So that means either Barham or TJ Guy's playing like an outside linebacker, which means they're dropping right now. I mean, so he's kind of adjusted what he's doing versus those particular situations and making those guys more outside linebackers and defensive ends, which has benefited them. When they break the formations, they're working on those things in practice, and it is showing up. And they are doing a really good job with those adjustments. So again, after that USC game, that was awful. That was terrible. They cleaned those things up, and it's showing week in and week out how much better they have improved because of that.
Hey man, that is I admire that, or I shouldn't say I commend that, because you could splinter after a game like that with the finger pointing, or you can accept responsibility and take accountability. And we saw that from both the coaches and the players after that with the way that they have responded in the game since that point.
Yeah, I worked at a lot of different places. There's certain schools, just in opinion, that are different. Michigan is different. When I look at that helmet come out of that tunnel, I always thought that was special. Even as a kid growing up, and I'm from Texas. Let's be real, I'm from Texas. Watching those helmets come out of that tunnel and jump up and touch that banner is different. When you put that helmet on, you're different. You're a Michigan man, and you buy into the program. If not, then the players on the team, they've always taken care of that. So when you talk about accountability, I think somewhere when the team and the guys let's have a team meeting, players only, hey, get on board or get out of the way. Just that simple. If you want to be part of how we're doing things here, we don't need you. You're not that good in the first place. There's only a few exceptional players that's come through Michigan. You know, I was there back in the 90s when we had 4 offensive linemen going in the first round. Now think about it. The only exceptional player was Charles Woodson. Okay, I'm talking about the elite. I mean, Hutchinson, he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Think about it. Outstanding player. Backus, another first-round pick. Outstanding player. I mean, John Jansen, 10 years in the league. Outstanding player. The exceptional player was Charles Woodson. You would put up with more with him than some other guys. But everybody else, okay, you got to buy into the program this way. And I think when those guys get in the room and talk about wearing that helmet, I think it changes you to a certain degree. If not, you shouldn't be there. And I've been at Florida, okay? I've been at Texas, and people know I'm a Texas. I'm just saying there's something about wearing that helmet and that uniform that sets you apart from any other place in the country.
Yeah, man, it's they have stepped up in a big way. Now it's about injury. People are asking for updates on Cole Sullivan. I know he was in the sling after the game, looking to get some updates here midweek. I have not as of yet, so we'll see. It's fortunately a position where they have some guys in the wings that I think have some real talent. I think Troy Bowles is going to be a guy, for instance, Ty Bowles' son, guy they got as a transfer from Georgia, who I think is going to be a real player. And fortunately, while Cole Sullivan is coming on, and hopefully his time out won't be long. Jimmy Rolder and Earn, and you got two big time linebackers right there. It definitely hurts your depth, but hopefully Troy Bowles can slide in there and fill in that gap for the time that Cole is out. You hope that's the case, but I'm gonna check in and see here midweek what his status is. You got Purdue, you got Northwestern, you got a bye in there, you got Maryland, so you got some time. Main thing is you want to be healed up for Ohio State. That's what matters. At least one game. So one game in Ohio State. That's what you need. I think for Cole, for Haynes, who's in the boot right now. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. For anybody who's hurt right now, you want a game to prepare, and Ohio State. That's what I'm looking for anybody who's hurt right now.
Sam, I'm gonna tell you what. I think Purdue is worse than Michigan State. Northwestern, that's going to be tough. Northwestern's playing some good football right now. I think Purdue, only way Purdue could beat you, they got to go for it on fourth down every time. They terrible. But Northwestern's a different cat now. We got to be very careful in that ball game. Now you got to show up versus Purdue and still bring your A game. Don't get me wrong, but Northwestern is playing some pretty good football right now. They could come up and surprise you because they are not going to beat themselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be getting into the grades here for Vance shortly. If you have questions for Vance, put them in the chat right now. If you have questions for Vance, go ahead and start lining them up, and we will start knocking them down after he lays out his grades for the Michigan defense. We'll also get your question. I think a lot of people came out of this game talking about the offense. Vance, is they, the young freshman had some, he had some tough times, and so they pivoted to the run game effectively to get the W. And some folks are upset about that. but they got the W, and now they live to fight another day. But we want your first, before we get your comment overall on the game and any thoughts on the offense, just your grades for the game, for the defense, Vance Bedford.
Again, I'm going to give the defensive ends an A- in this ball game. They did a great job containing the quarterback. They made some nice plays in the run game and pass game. The D tackles, I'm giving those guys a B-. They got pushed around, but because of what they asking these guys to do, it's tough duty in there. So overall, D-line, I'll give them a B. The way Rolder played in this ball game, I'm going to give the linebackers an A-. I mean, they did some really good things. They were better in pass coverage than what they had been. So I'll give them props for that. Secondary, I'm giving those guys a B+. I mean, they did some good things, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to grade them extra hard because I see some things in their play, in their execution, that if we don't get it corrected, it's going to cost us against a team that actually can throw the football decently. Because the quarterback in Michigan State, again, he was terrible. Sam, he was terrible. And we saw what happened with a good passing quarterback that has hurt us. We got to get those things corrected, especially as much too high as we are doing. The execution of the guys underneath, whether you're in quarters, whether you're in quarter, half, cover two, how do you match things up? They hit us with a tight end delay, Sam. Okay. They had 4 guys strong. In other words, they were trips to one side with a back offset. That's 4 guys to that side. So the backside linebacker, his drop should be going to the middle of the field. It did. They hit a tight end delay for about 15 yards. So our awareness going forward, we need to clean certain things up because Northwestern, I'm pretty certain they're going to try to exploit some of those things. I don't know enough about Purdue except I just know they're bad. That's all I can say about Purdue. But Northwestern, again, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're playing some good football. Impressed with the improvement that they've shown. You're going to be down in Chicago playing that game at Wrigley Field, right? By the way, we're going to be on the road. We're going to be doing a special pregame show down there. So folks, I'll put some information in the next episode. There's going to be a ticketed event with the U of M Club of Chicago, by the way, and so we'll be putting some information out there about that. So looking forward to that, and hope to see some of you out there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to that. In the meantime, that's going to be a great setting for the game. I've only been to Wrigley Field one time, and so obviously for a baseball game, so it's going to be great to get down there to see Michigan playing Northwestern in that setting. So now, before we get to the questions, Vance, I mean, folks were complaining about, them shifting. I mean, obviously the passing game, they couldn't get it on track. And so they decided to shift to the running game, which was, they made some real effective adjustments in the run game, and Michigan State couldn't stop it. They got the win. They got the W. And I'm like, man, why are you gonna complain about that? I don't understand. I'm trying to pick up what folks are putting down on that, Vance, but I guess that's the day and age we live in, brother.
Sam, I heard you and Al talk a little bit about you had at least 15 RPOs. Okay. So is the quarterback not reading it correctly? Because what he should be doing,
normally
if he has 15 RPOs, then at least 7 times he should be pulling that football, either keeping it himself or dropping a dime somewhere. So that'd be at least 7 more passes. But he's giving the football. Now, I seriously doubt they're telling the kid in RPO, hey, don't read it. If that's the case, you don't call RPO, just call it run. The next thing is, what can he do? They are so afraid of throwing it on first down, getting an incomplete pass. Then they on second down and 10, which they haven't been very successful. So I know watching Michigan over the years, even when Harbaugh was there, if it was second down and long, it was probably, I'm just throwing this out, it might be 80% run. They go ultra conservative. So they're coming back, say, what the heck, we're going to throw it again anyhow. You got to find out what can this young quarterback do and let him go do it. Because when you get into a game where you're going to need him to have to win the game for you with his arm, He isn't going to know how to do that because why? He's not doing it right now. How can a kid this talented at one point have a total of 89 passing yards? So, as a person watching the game and listening to what we said about the kid coming in, something's wrong. Now, first half of the year, I talked how poorly our receiver play was. Now, number 4, number 1, they're dudes. We found some dudes. The tight ends, I think those some guys, some dudes. Find a way to get those guys involved. Now, is the quarterback better on the perimeter? What I mean by that, spread out pass, that's run pass option. Boots and nakeds, run pass option. The old-fashioned dash where the quarterback and shotgun takes it, backs up, invite the defensive end to come, and then he comes on the edge. So it's different ways, if you're concerned about your offensive line, to move the pocket to protect them, and now give your young quarterback a run pass option. Next thing is quick game. Is he effective if you go to the quick game? I mean, quick slants, quick hitches, quick outs, things that now you completed a second down and 5, they miss a tackle, a second down and 1, or a big play. So it's things you can do to give this young man a chance to be successful. And right now, again, you don't see that 89 yards passing for this guy in 3 quarters, wherever it ended up being. That's not good. That's not good. It will eventually beat us because he doesn't have the confidence right now to know what to do with the football because we're not allowing him, or he's making bad decisions as a freshman would do to utilize his skill set.
Yeah, it's it went completely. He's a good RPO guy. For that to go completely away, told you he was uncomfortable. And I thought about you on the first pass that he completed of the game. He got nickel pressure in his face. And I thought about something you said. You said, I'm getting off the bus and I'm trying to hit the quarterback. I'm trying to hit him right now. And when he completed that pass and they hit him, I said, damn. Right away, even though he completed the pass, because I said, man, I hope that don't have an effect. Because I know
Sam, he doesn't see the big picture. When I watch him play and people are pressuring him, he doesn't see it coming. And that's another concern that the offensive staff might have, that he doesn't recognize where the blitz is coming from or when it's coming. So therefore, he can't check protections. He don't know how to do that just yet. He didn't have a feel for blitz is coming here. Hey, throw the ball right where the guy's coming from. He didn't understand those things right now. And people are going to say, well, he should. No, he shouldn't. He's a freshman. He's a freshman come out of high school football where he was better than everybody else around him. Now he isn't. They can run him down and catch him. They can disguise the coverage and he'll throw into the strength of the coverage thinking it was something else. He didn't know that. That comes in time. But our passing game is not overly complicated. So it's easy to come and disguise what you're doing and take certain things away. And that's why that was 2 games ago when our tight ends had such a great game. We're like, wait a minute, our starting tight end is hurt. And these other guys show up and pick somebody apart. A tight end is a quarterback's best friend. Find a way to get the ball to our tight ends, to get the quarterback comfortable, and then stay in second down and 3 and 4.
Yeah, they tried to in this game too. I mean, there was they tried to. It was one of them things where, you draw it up and, you try to draw it up, but it's just one of those games where it just didn't materialize, man. I mean, it was a touchdown. It was a touchdown. It's like, I can show it, look at play 63 on all 22. Like you'll see what I'm talking about. That's just the most vivid example of one in there on a play action max protect. And it's just it's gonna happen to a freshman. And so to your point, now you come back off of that, and I think you got to prioritize the protect, because Denard, I think, hit this out of the park. Kind of emphasize teaching him how to handle where the pressure's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
That would be big for him coming off of this game. That's not to say that they haven't addressed it, but now teams seeing that, how big it was for Michigan State, you better believe. Purdue, they may be bad, like you said, but watching that game, And you'd be a fool not to try that.
So I'm gonna give you an example. I love the corner blitz from the boundary. A lot of times when offenses go 3-by-1 formation, they get some type of quick out or sprint out pass, they cut the split by the receivers to the boundary, which disguise-wise, it benefits me as a defensive play caller and my guys. If I were going to do that, I'd be in 2-by-2 and motion. Therefore, they can't get set. Two things, it gives the tailback or the tight end who might be in protection an opportunity to see what's going on and make a correction to clean things up. So motion sometimes makes guys have to adjust, which a lot of guys say, well, now the quarterback or the offensive line or where the protection goes. But that's why you keep a tight end in or back end to pick up the extra stuff that the quarterback might not see. And me as a coordinator, I was happy when you didn't move guys. Now we're playing checkers. You made my job easy. When you motion guys, and if you're playing zone football, everyone has to recount. You hear me always say, if you count to 3, you can play for me. Well, the 3 count can change from one side to the other. And so it makes it more complicated for the defense. When you're just stagnant and say, here I am, I'm like, thank you. I can come from different angles, and your quarterback can never figure it out. But I'm a firm believer. I was ever a head coach or offensive guy, I'm finna motion you. I'm going to make you have to move and adjust.
Yeah. So we got some comments. So see, watch the film study tomorrow, Dr. Uday. Watch the film study tomorrow. We show 2 plays. 2 plays. There was a red zone play where the commentator, Blackledge, he draws up crosses in the red zone. He said, see, he was trying to go to the receivers on crosses and they were covered. Bryce wasn't going. He wasn't looking at the receivers on that play. The play was to the tight end. It was the tight end. It was a delay to the tight end, and the tight end got hung up trying to get across. And by the time the tight end got free, the running back had fallen down, and he didn't get his block. And Bryce got pressure in his face. And by the time the tight end got free in the end zone, he was wide open. Bryce had pressure in his face and couldn't get to it. The play was to the tight end.
Yeah, but you know what, Sam? In the passing game, a play just can't be to a guy. If it is, you don't have a play call.
Well, the first look was to the
read might be there, but if it's not there, where do you go to football land? But again, we're going back to talking about this kid's a freshman. So in practice, that guy probably was clean, was open every time he ran that play.
First look was to the flat.
Yeah.
Then it's to the prime look is to the tight end. The first look is to the flat, which Al said a more veteran quarterback probably throws it to the flat. A more veteran quarterback probably would have went there, but he understands why Bryce didn't throw it there.
Exactly. Young guy.
He's a young guy.
Exactly. And we've been saying that since day one. It's going to take some time for him to grow, and this is part of it. But again, I look at the kid at Ohio State. He's a freshman. And he has some great receivers. They throwing the football around, doing things he can do. They motioning, moving guys around. Why? Because they know long-term wise with the guys they have on the perimeter, those are the guys that help us win football games. So going back to our offense, we got to figure out, okay, with this quarterback that we have, now I honestly believe we got some decent receivers right now. We finally realized that Marsh, who was a freshman, is actually a really good football player. Find ways to get these guys to the football down the field, whether it be quick game, whether it be 10 to 12-yard routes. Everything doesn't have to be down the field 40, 50 yards. Get the ball in your hand quick. Let the guy get confidence. Keep the sticks moving. Let's go win some ball games. Get them ready for the next ball game and next ball game and next ball game. Build successes one series at a time.
All right. Let's go ahead and get to the questions. We be cold with the super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Love our amazing blue brothers out there. Folks, super chat with emotion. Don't be emotional. Love that. My question is, Coach Bedford, can you break down what happened on the big passing play by Michigan State on their scoring drive in the second half?
It was a sluggo. They had a cloud to that side. The safety was half field. So in other words, the receiver did it like a one-step slant. The corner drove it, and he faded. the safety's eyes stay. He didn't go to the top right now. Anytime a quarterback pump fakes that way, you have no choice but to go. And he didn't. He squared back up. There's no way he could have got in there. So what could have possibly helped him out is that the corner, as he drove, drive through the receiver's shoulder just to disrupt him to buy time for the safety. He didn't. Those are the things we've been talking about, the execution of the too high, how the cloud corner is playing, how the safety's playing.
Yeah, all right. We appreciate the super chatters always. Here's another super chatter for you, Vance. And this one is for you. This has been coming through a lot, Vance. Now, I know you get this question every year, brother. Vance, your phone ringing, coach? It should be. They saying, Vance, you need to come out of retirement.
Hey, on the phone calls, I'm getting the spam calls. I get about 20 spam calls a day. And all I can do sometimes is I just say, you know what, I'm praying for you, man. God's looking out for you. So
They want you to be a consultant or something, Vance.
Hey, like I said, when I retired, when I walked away, I flat walked away. Don't plan on walking back. So I am good right where I am. I'm retired and happy to be retired.
Hey man, this game is crazy. You wonder if these coaches, all these coaches who getting fired, and they collecting these big checks now. I mean, you think they're gonna go try to find another job? Why would you go get another
Franklin
job?
said he wants another job. Jimbo Fisher, who got $72 million from A&M, said he wants another job. But people just talking about the head coaches now. I talked to a guy, he was at Oklahoma State a year ago. Mike Gundy let go 17 people. Okay, he's still getting paid. See, people talk about Gundy's salary. What about the other guys who are also getting fired? A lot of those guys now, they're not making $2 to $6 million a year. They got to go find another job. They have to move their family. They got to continue to work. So it's not just the head coaches. Now, some of the coordinators, they making $2 million. But some of those assistant coaches, they better go find another job. They got to pay for a mortgage. They got to move their kids. They got to pay for doctor bills. So as the guy who's been an assistant coach all of his life, I was in Chicago and Coach Deron got fired. I said, Coach, I wish we could have done more for you. He said, Vance, don't worry about me. I'm going to get paid. He said, I need to get you a job. He said it just that way. He said, because I know you got to continue to work. I'm making head coach's money. It's guaranteed. You're not. I've never forgotten that. He was right. I had to go find another job to pay my mortgage. He could retire. I couldn't.
That's real. You know what? And see, every head coach. So point this out, Vance. Every head coach don't think about his coaches like that.
Most of them don't. That's being from most of them. They got theirs and they think about theirs. If I'm Franklin, and you're gonna give me $49 million, I'm gonna take off for at least a year. As a coach, you get no opportunity to spend with your family. You have no time for yourself. 3 years ago, a guy had called me, a good friend of mine, and offered me a job. And my dad was in his 90s right now. So you know what? I've seen my family, especially my dad, more now since I've been retired than the previous 30-some years coaching. I said, I'm not gonna miss that. I'm not gonna miss that opportunity ever again. Because now my dad's 93 and I get a chance to see him. So I was different. I mean, sometimes it's not just the money, Sam. It's about being in the limelight.
Yeah.
It's like a drug.
Yeah.
They can't let that go. As an assistant coach, I was never in the limelight that way. So it doesn't affect me that way. Do I miss certain things? Of course I do. Don't get me wrong. But I will not give up the opportunity to see my dad, to be at home, to do things I'm doing right now, to go and coach for any amount of money.
Yeah, that's real. And it ain't for lack of opportunities because people be trying to come get you, Vance. I mean, I know, obviously, you had NFL opportunities. I know for a fact Sharon tried to come get you. I know that for a fact.
He'd say, hey, Vance, you can make things right. Just, come on over now, bro. I can't do that. I mean, I love being where I am, and my wife is here. Grandkids are here, family here. So, that's the benefit of not having to work, doing things, saying things that I couldn't do when I was coaching. And I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. That's real. That is real. And a decision that, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, but a sacrifice that your family made for years while you were doing your coaching job. And now, you're making it's a different kind of sacrifice, but it's kind of not even a sacrifice at this point.
It really, my wife would tell you the hours I work. She said Texas, we had to have time cards. So on average, if you stayed at the hotel with the players and go back in office on Sunday, I was averaging 90 hours a week away from home. That's a 7-day period. And so most of the jobs I had was pretty much the same and some longer. And I know everybody in the country starting to work long hours right now, just trying to survive. But I mean, that's a lot of time away from your family. And if you have kids, you never see your kids. That's like one coach might just comment, well, why are you going home at 10 o'clock at night? Your kids sleep and your wife not going to talk to you. So what we're talking about, I mean, and that's the mindset sometimes of head coaches with those kind of attitudes. I mean, so no, you can keep those jobs. I want no parts of it.
Yeah. Besides, hey, Vance giving out all kind of lessons here on the breakdown. He kind of coaching right now, you know. All right, let's go ahead and get the next question in. Nala 846 says, I think Ernie made a bad play on that big run. You think so, Vance?
They had a couple of bad runs. There was some bad fits in several of those particular situations, Sam. I mean, one through the middle, the linebacker was off the defensive end, and he was wrong because the defensive end was wrong. I mean, it wouldn't sometimes, Sam, when you have a big play, it's not just a guy. Mm-hmm. It's at least two guys involved as far as how they fit. And sometimes you have mistakes because of that. And we had one runner, I think it broke outside. The defensive end fitted wrong, and the safety coming down, he fitted wrong off the defensive end. So it was not one guy, it was two guys involved.
All right, let's go to Twitter or X for one of these questions. Srinkant, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. I apologize. But he says, do you see continued improvement, development, and technique from our DBs and linebackers enough to be ready for OSU's passing attack?
You know what? That's too far away. I just hope we continue to improve so we can be Purdue. I mean, if we build off of Purdue, we find a way to get that win. Then you go play Northwestern, and we continue to get better. So we have a ways to go before we get to Oklahoma State. If we're to play Oklahoma State right now, to be frank, we're not beating Ohio State right now. We're not beating them right now. We're not ready to beat them. But if we gain confidence against Purdue and win that ball game and continue to improve, and then we go face Northwestern and we continue to improve. Open day, we get guys back healthy, play Maryland, find a way to win that game and improve. Then we could talk about what can we do to beat Ohio State. Right now, it's too early to tell. We are not ready to play the Buckeyes. I'm just being honest with you. Defensively, we are not ready to go against those guys.
I'll just call you SV. SV, that's a good question. That's a good question. Let's go back to the questions for Vance. Next one comes from Tay8531, who came through with the big super chat earlier. Appreciate you. Vance, how does this year's defense compare to the 2023 defense that won the title in terms of talent and experience? Is there a position group on this year's team that is better than their 23 counterpart?
No, not even close to any position, Sam. No. Sam, look at the leadership we had from the linebackers. Look at them pick the two big dogs we had inside. Okay? You go to the secondary with little Mike back there. Man. Come on. There's no comparison. I mean, you're talking about the number of NFL players on that particular defense compared to right now. It's not close, Sam. I mean, our two linebackers, the awareness that they had of the defense, we're just starting to see just a little taste of that from those guys inside. Secondary-wise, they're not even close. Little Mike had control of that. We had some dudes back there. I mean, you had coaches on the football field. Yeah, and then you had my two big horses inside, Sam. Come on.
No, the line and secondary ain't even close. The only place that you could compare would be linebacker. But
maybe athletically, but football awareness, Sam, no, it's not the same. It's not the same. Sam. And to me, I'm taking that football awareness over athleticism because you know what? They're going to be in the right place most of the time, and they're going to make the guys around them be in the right place because now you're playing better defense because they can make adjustments. The guys we have right now, this is the first game, the Michigan State game, I actually saw the linebackers making adjustments. And to me, that's the key right there. In the USC game, we made no adjustments because they didn't know how to do that.
That's right, 100%. 100%. This game, no, I gotta shout him out the individual plays I mean, the 2-point conversion, Jimmy broke up. Then he broke up the fourth down play, fourth down pass. Then he broke up the fourth down run, where I mean, I want to say Michigan wasn't. They talk about Michigan State not being set. Hell, Michigan wasn't set, and he came flying over the line and
Yeah,
stopped a man in the backfield.
Michigan State trying to go fast. They don't know who to block. Sam, that was just awful.
It was awful.
That was just bad. And I don't think any coach should be fired after 2 years. But his schedule is Indiana, Ohio State. Who else did Michigan State have to play?
Hold on, I have to pull it up.
Well, don't worry about
somebody that's gonna beat them. Somebody that's gonna beat them.
But I know that those are 2 losses right there. And the way things are going right now, I don't know what his contract is.
They lost to Indiana already, didn't they? Oh, I thought they did. Maybe they didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I'll pull it up. But they gonna lose. I mean, at this point, their fan base, and it's a true story. They wanted to win, but if they lost, I actually had Spartan. Spartan say this to me. If they lost, they wanted it to be a blowout, Vance.
What?
Yes. They said, if we're gonna lose, I want us to just get blown out so we get fired. I said, what? Yeah, they lost to Indiana the week before Michigan.
Okay.
And so they got Minnesota.
That's a toss-up.
Then they host Penn State, then at Iowa, and they finish hosting Maryland.
Maryland and Minnesota, they got a chance. That's about it. But they don't realize if you fire him, who you going to hire? Look how many jobs are open right now. Look how far down the line you are to hire a coach. I mean, because LSU, Florida, and Penn State, they have first dibs on the top coaches out there right now. And a rumor that Sarkisian might be looking at Texas, which who knows? I mean, so you so far down the line, you down there with Oklahoma State and Arkansas and those type of people. So be careful what you ask for, because who you're gonna go get that's better. You might as well wait another year, see what happens, than say this not you to fire a guy. It really isn't, because who you gonna hire? Because there's so many jobs open right now.
Yeah, back to X. Got a lot of folks on X today. Said, Vance, listen to you on Tuesdays is akin to my commitment to going to church on Sunday. You like church, Vance? You like a pastor. Preaching to your flock. How about that? He said, I became confused here early because you started out articulating on how Michigan State's QB couldn't hit wide open receivers. Listening to that, I thought the evaluations for the secondary were not going to be or could not be very glowing. But Vance, you never disappoint, because you gave the DB some props.
It's like somebody said a long time ago, just cover the guy with a ball being thrown. We did that. Mm-hmm. But there's some guys, the quarterback just couldn't see it. And that's my concern moving forward, is that if I'm Purdue, I don't know anything about Purdue's offense. I really don't. I'm going to nickel and dime us. If I can get you to single high, now I know I'm one-on-one outside. But I know if I see a cloud corner, I'm working that side with some high lows, because it has been open. We need to do a better job of cleaning those things up before somebody they find the holes that we've given up and get us. I'm concerned about that.
Hey, man, yeah, they say preach now, Pastor Vance, alignment. You can mess up your life if you don't get in alignment. Put your people first. So I remember what you were saying earlier in the show. That's right. Perspective. Life is about perspective. That's Coach Vance. Yes, sir. Let's get back to the questions for Vance. All right. Coach, do you think Michigan should be playing Trey Pierce and Rayshawn Benny more snaps at DT?
Rayshawn Benny definitely. Sam, we had some issues against Michigan State now.
Trey Pierce, I think, was bang. He wound up limping off the field in 95. I think Trey Pierce, when he's healthy, I think he's been having a heck of a season. But
the previous game, I mentioned him. He did some good things, but we're getting those guys beaten up for one reason, because we're trying to protect the secondary so much. We're playing with 4 downs, so they know where our guys are a lot of times. They're getting double. So it's tough for those guys to defeat double teams. They're getting duo. That means the linebackers we setting the linebackers to be playmakers. In this particular ball game, they did a better job. But man, sometimes we can knock 3, 4, 5 yards off the ball, Sam, inside. We really are. One time we had a blitz on coming from the boundary, and I don't know the kid's name. I think it's number 44. He was supposed to go in the A gap. Sam, he never got in the A gap. Guess where the ball hit? Mm-hmm. The A gap about 15 yards. So sometimes when we do have stunts on, we didn't execute inside, so they use gaps inside. So I'm still going back to this right now, Sam. In your opinion, who should be our starting down guys? Rayshawn Benny, I'm with him. Who else? Who's the next guy?
I think Damon Payne has been doing pretty well. 44.
But put him in there and go with it. 44 was a guy who didn't get to the A gap. He got cut off because of his first steps. But again, let's say you're getting 60 snaps a game. Those guys right now should be getting 30 snaps. And then you rotate everybody else. But those guys got to be your dogs.
My next guy, when he's healthy, would be Trey Pierce, but he's not healthy.
Yeah. But you got to find out. I mean, and I've been saying this the whole time. When you rotate guys like that, that means you don't believe in them to play 30, 35 snaps a game.
Yeah.
That's why you do that.
So if it's not Trey Pierce, I would do Damon Payne on rundowns, and I would do Trey Williams on pass downs, 0. So it would be mixed between those two. So Rayshawn Benny all the time, Damon Payne on rundowns, Trey Pierce on pass downs.
My man Zero Pierce, Sam. Well, he didn't like them double teams now.
That's what you heard. What I just said.
I'm saying on first down now.
You heard what I said.
The brother was turning his shoulders now. I mean, the linebackers got no chance with him in there. At least in this game here.
Pass downs. So I said pass downs.
I mean, he was an issue. That's why the D tackles. He's one of the reasons why I graded the D tackles down. I mean, he was getting pushed around. I mean, how much does he weigh?
He good 310, 315.
He played like he about 215 there. He played soft as butter. Has been sitting out in the sun for 2-3 days. I didn't see it in this. They need to get something right with him. We need to sit down and talk a little bit, my brother.
I hear you. Pass downs. Run down Jamie Payne. Vance, hey man. I laid it out for you, brother.
Oh my goodness.
I laid it out for you. You know. But Trey Pierce is my guy when he's healthy.
Okay.
He's my guy. So let's get back to the questions for Vance.
Hey, who's number 94, Sam? Play some defensive end.
I'm trying to. I
don't worry about it because he shouldn't be playing as much as he's playing. That's why I asked that question.
Okay. Well, I'm glad the name ain't coming to mind. I don't want to call it.
That's good. I mean, he has no awareness what's going around him. I mean, he has no awareness who's trying to block him, who's cracking on him. I mean, he gave him one big play on the sideline because he was no aware the receiver had to put the crack on him. That's just awareness.
94 is Nate. I don't have Nate's number memorized.
I just saw 94. Like 94 should be playing 3 times. How many times you see 94 playing defensive end? He has a wrong number on in the first place. That's the first problem. He's confused.
Yeah, Nate's a freshman. He's a freshman, Vance.
Sam, tell him to bring us some fresh cold Gatorade. That's what he need to be doing if he's freshman.
Hey, he's gonna be a ball player. He's gonna
not
be
right now.
All right, let's get to the next question for Vance. This is a two-parter from Ike. Ike Harris says, yeah, we got to talk about Suge, man. He had a solid game. But, man, he don't make the plays that he's supposed to make to get in that end zone. He's got to make them INTs. He's got to. What you got to say about that, Vance?
He's dropped some balls. Now, let's be for real. He's been in position because of some bad throws. You go back to 2 years ago, those guys made those plays. That's the difference in winning and losing close ball games. I mean, so he has to finish. He's not there right now. He needs to work on his hands. So if I'm his coach, he's got to hit the jugs every day. Either before practice, after practice, get out there early, hit that jug machine. You got to get your hands right now. You're in position to come down with the ball. You're not doing it. I need to help you to figure out what's the problem. So this young man, he's right. He needs to make those plays. If we play in Ohio State right now, and the game is close, you got a chance to intercept the football. If you intercept it, go for 6, that could win the ball game.
Good.
Right now, Sam, he's not making that play. Ball's going through his hands.
Yeah, that's a difference maker right there. Ooh. When my man last year got that pick versus Ohio State, oh, that was a game changer.
You have to make that play,
Gotta
Sam.
make
You
that
have to
play.
That's right.
Gotta make that play. If he had dropped that pick,
You don't win that game.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yes. So great point, Vance. That's a game changer, man. That is a game changer. Next question for Vance comes from this one is from Jackson Cooper. Any rumors out there with DJ Pickett coming to Michigan? I'm gonna be talking about that over on the MichiganInsider.com. Check us out over there. I actually do have some intel on that. All right. Next one. You already talked about the jugs machine. You said jugs machine. Hell, you got to get on the jugs machine.
They need to.
All right. Nala86 says, the way their running back was running on some of those runs gave me Kenneth Walker nightmares. Feels like we still getting gashed sometimes these last couple games. How can we fix giving up those big runs?
Every once in a while, you see when you're playing against a decent team with a good running back, that's going to happen. And again, it goes back to run fits, the D tackles inside. You have to get off your block. They're getting double sometimes, either getting your crease to take a knee, but we got to do a better job inside so the linebackers know where to fit. A couple of times, the linebackers are waiting to see where to go. They made the wrong decisions to crease in there. Or if you get a defensive end playing too heavy on the outside, the ball bounces outside. Now the secondary has to make a play. But for the most part, Sam, and you watched us play in this game, we had guys playing with football. The pursuit was excellent. And that in itself eliminated a lot of big runs. But a couple of times, yeah, we did get creased because of run fits, because, again, inside, we get knocked off the ball.
All right. Lama Bryant has another good question. He says, Vance, you mentioned that the Northwestern game will be tough, but the Maryland game has a mobile quarterback. Since Oklahoma with Mateer, Williams, Childs, Williams over at Mount Williams over at Washington, Childs at Michigan State. Are you convinced this Michigan defense can contain mobile quarterbacks?
Each situation is different. It's based on the play calling. If you go to Mateer, Oklahoma, well, the thing that hurt us, quarterback count. Think about it. He scrambled a couple of times, but they used him as a runner. You went to the Washington quarterback, they didn't do so as much, and we contained him. And then this past weekend, my guy, he's 6'2", 6'3", 235. He wasn't as athletic as those guys were, but we contained him. And look at all those guys. When we contained those guys, they were not great passers. Now, I don't know anything about Maryland and how well a kid throws the football, but you can be a gifted athlete as a quarterback, but if you really can't throw the ball well, it doesn't hurt you. Because somewhere, if you contain that guy, he needs to beat you with his arm. And right now, the guy from Washington threw a couple of decent passes. Push come to shove, he couldn't beat us with his arm. This past week, push came to shove, Michigan State's quarterback couldn't beat us with his arm.
All right. How about this one? I love this. Oh, this would be so great. Matt Patricia to Michigan State. Let's go. That'd be a great hire. That'd be a great hire for Michigan State. He's doing great things at Ohio State. Great thing. And he has head coaching experience. Man, home run. Home run. Vance. Man, we need to speak that into existence, man. Michigan State needs to make that happen. Matt Patricia to Michigan State.
I was with a guy this morning. He used to be a big booster for Colorado State. And the comment I made to him, I said, if you have a search committee, the first question I'm going to ask you, who is your general manager? So the general manager manages the transfer portal, NIL, and everything else. You need to have that guy in place, and then come the coaches. You got to have that guy who I can go talk to, say, this is what the money is. This is how we should divide it up. These are things I'm saying out here. If you don't have that guy in place, Sam, you could be in trouble. So all these coaches going around right now, you got to have a guy that can manage all those things, because you as a head coach, when the season starts now, based on what you're doing, you don't have time for that. That guy's going to be almost totally responsible to make sure things are run properly for you can have a chance to have success. That's his job. So when I look at all these guys right now, if I'm on a search committee for somebody, I'm asking that question. Who is your general manager? Who's running your NIL, your transfer portal, and your money? I don't care about your offensive defense. And the second thing I'm asking, tell me about how you're going to recruit. What's your recruiting base and how you're going to do it? That's why I'm hoping that Tony Alford has a chance at Colorado State. Born in Colorado, mother still lives in Colorado Springs. He coached there. For them not to want to have a chance to hire him makes no sense to me.
And he should at least score an interview, right?
You would think so, but the place is so strange. I mean, it's just amazing on what they do. I mean, they just fired Jay Norvell. If they let him coach in November, they don't want to pay him a penny. They fired him before them, so now they got to pay him $1.5 million, and they go out and play their biggest rival, Wyoming, off 28-0. Why they fired a guy in the middle of the season? It makes no sense to me. I mean, some of these ADs, they should get fired first.
Yeah, that sounds like they was doing him a favor.
They did. They did him a favor, but they did the program no favors. And now the AD, he used to be a fundraiser, so he knows nothing about football, so he's going to have go get him a search committee. I went through a search committee and asked you some of the dumbest questions that make no sense to a program whatsoever. You need to have at least one former coach on that committee to ask wise questions about how you're going to change this program.
Yeah. All right. Just a few more for Vance. Here's another one, Vance. From Jay Marion. This is going, Vance. Do you see the defense communicating more since the USC loss?
It's like night and day. It's not even close. I mean, what I saw in this ball game, Michigan State shifted to the empty. I saw the linebackers pointing, getting guys lined up, telling guys what to drop. They actually knew what they were supposed to do, and they talked about it. Against USC, a couple of times, nobody even moved. We had guys running scot-free, nobody owning anybody. So they have worked on that, talked through it. I saw a major change in this ball game than any game I've seen them play this year. So, yeah, they have that cleaned up. They're moving forward and getting better because of it.
Legendary Intel says, if Sullivan is out for a while, should Barham move back to inside linebacker and move him around when needed with TJ Guy back and at edge?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Barham, how he picks things up, going back and forth. I mean, if you think you have 4 defensive ends, then you can move them back inside because those guys can rotate. And Barham, you could do more things with him. But now you start talking about coverage. So you look at the coverage, and again, we having some issues with the guys who are doing it week in and week out sometimes as far as recognizing what to do. So now I'm going to move them back inside. What can you tell me about Purdue? Are they a passing team, Sam? What are they doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not a game to do it then. And you already said some guys in the room that can step up and play, so I wouldn't move Barham. I wouldn't do that. I'm trying to get these other guys ready to play for the show down the line because you're going to need Barham, his tenacity at defensive end on the outside moving forward.
All right. We'll make this be the last one. Vance, the mental mistakes that are being made, are they caused by lack of experience or their inability to transfer drill and tape work to game situations? What do you think, Vance?
That's a good question. It's a tough question. I don't know the kids well enough to really to make a comment about that. But all I can do is this, Sam. From the USC game to Michigan State, USC shift to empty, total loss and confused. Michigan State shift to empty, guys communicating and checking. So right now, I am starting to see that transfer of things in practice going to the field. So I do see a change in a positive way. Or there's some things that still need to be improved on, no doubt. Moving forward, I hopefully continue to see that. And hopefully we can get Sullivan back to give us the right depth at that position. I think we'll be okay. I just saw somebody talking about bowls, which you mentioned earlier. It's his chance to step in and get some playing time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, and this is an interesting point. It says Michigan blitzed only 11% of the time. Should we see more of that? You like the blitz rate going down to that level?
I think we need to be right around 20%.
Mm.
I think that's pretty low. And we got away with it because of who we're playing against moving forward. I'm going to Ohio State. If we just go 11% versus Ohio State, they're going to run the ball down our throat. They won't have to do it. Because right now, we're not physical enough inside again to stop their run game. The only way we can do that is to move guys and bring extra guys. That means you got to hang the secondary out just a little bit. But I saw one time when we had a blitz on Sam, we still had Michigan State's best receiver double. And the quarterback trying to throw it to the guy that's double. Like I said, this quarterback was terrible.
Mm-hmm. So you can't go from being, a blitz heavy team to a blitz never team. That's what you saying.
No, you can't. You got to be who you are, but understand what the kids can do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're seeing right now. Our pressure, like I said, I saw lightning again,
Mm-hmm.
which I hadn't seen very much this year. And he ran it quite a bit last year. Jesse ran it. McDonald ran it. Those are some things I think it protects our secondary. But again, it's bringing 5 guys and playing a 2 shell behind it in a certain way. So I think we need to get back to those type of things. I think it benefits our kids. It plays to the strength of what our kids can do.
Yeah. Great stuff as always, Vance. Always bringing the fire. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys against Purdue. They strung together some good defensive performances, but can't afford to let up. This is a team. They got a couple good receivers. They can put some things together through the air. They are bad, but they got some capable guys in the pass game. So, can't let that sneak up on you. As long as they don't do that, fans, they should come out on top in this home night.
We're saying we should have 5 sacks. If they're a passing team, we should have 5 sacks by the defensive end. Now, some other guys get sacks, that's 7, 8, 9. But by our defensive ends, just that group, they should have 5 sacks. They have 5 sacks. We don't have to worry about those receivers out wide. We're good to go. Quarterback running for his life. It's like he's on fire. Like Richard Pryor said, I'm on fire. I'm running down the streets.
Hey, I think some of these folks too young to even know that story.
They probably do.
No, I'm on fire. I'm on fire, like for real. Oh man, great stuff as always, Vance. To the rest of y'all, we appreciate you. You super chatters, you help make us go. Remember, we did an offensive film study. People were talking about that game so bad, and the information was so out of whack. We even came with an offensive film study for y'all. It will release tomorrow before noon, so be on the lookout for it. And hopefully it will educate and edify you to the point where not only will you have the correct information, but you can correct it for all your fellow Michigan fans out there. So we won't have to hear all this, all this incorrect stuff, this garbage is being spread around out there. You can correct all that too. So we appreciate you guys as always, and we'll see you next time on the next edition of the Michigan Football Breakdown, focused on the defense with Vance Bedford. We'll see you next time.
Go Blue.